They got rid of my ghost face finally, so we're gonna play as Legion. Ooh. I don't know how to play as Legion. Free kill, I guess. Dang. Ooh, just wait till I get my frenzy. Ooh, alright. Come here. Come here, boy. Okay, I'm not too bad with Legion. One more person and I'm good. I'm gonna watch you die. You were a little douchebag. Hey. Ooh. Quick with it. That's all I needed. Ooh. And got him. Now it's time for you to die. I'm not too bad with Legion, honestly. I got everybody dead. And not so that fast. I should have hung the girl. Oh. Because then I would have got more points for it. Dang, I just let her bleed out. Alright, we're gonna go for the gen over here. Nope, close it. Yeah, not. It ain't happening, bro. I win! Come here. I win. I'm gonna run around this totem now. No one escaped. I'm a ruthless killer. Although it would have been better if I hung that girl. Now that I think about it. I'm a rank 3 with the girl. Alright. Oh, what? Backstory. 19, I had a little show for it. He stopped attending school and after being kicked out, shoving a referee in the stands, he was a man of potential who could line up a room. Despite his bleak childhood, at 6 years old, he'd been taken away from Calgary to Calgary to start a circuit of foster homes. No matter how many times he'd lash out through tantrums or got in a fight, they'd keep moving him into new, unfamiliar houses. His last move had been 3 years prior, with his foster dad, Clive Andrews, had picked him up from the adoption center. They'd been on the road for 7 hours before reaching a small bungalow in Ormond. It was the longest time they'd spent together. Clive was too busy trading checks from family services for drinks at bar. Ormond was a small, stale plate, a remote town, 6,000 inhabitants, where gray winters drag on for most years. Frank did everything he could. Oh, there's more. Frank did everything he could to get into another adoptive family, but he changed his mind when he caught the attention of a beautiful girl. Julie was a popular girl who was convinced that she deserved better in life in Ormond, and Frank, an outsider, was her ticket out. Frank attended parties she threw where everyone was younger than him and easily impressed, which he liked. He met the impulsive Joey, who was a show-off, shy, naive Susie, who was Julie's best friend. They would hang out at an abandoned lodge up in Mount Ormond. Their time together was a perfect break from the boring conformity of their small, insignificant everyday lives. Frank saw it as an opportunity to shape their lack of experience into something powerful. He lined up nights of debauchery and rampage, testing their limits. Bullying, vandalism, and theft were essentially their weekend plans. It came to a point where they would do anything he asked. Nothing was off limits when they put their masks on. One evening, Frank dared Joey to vandalize a store that had recently fired him. They snuck inside easily enough as the building was empty after closing hours. But the cleaner who was still there grabbed Julie as soon as she came near. Her stifled cries, a dark impulse took over Frank. He rushed to her aid, knife in hand. Without hesitation, planted the blade into the cleaner's back. As the group stared at Frank in shock, he ordered them to finish the job. Joey clenched the jaw, grabbed the knife, stabbed the bleeding man in the ribs. Susie didn't want to do it. Frank shouted at her. They had to finish what they started. Julie closed her eyes and jabbed the knife into the man's chest. She handed the wet blade to Susie. They were all in this together now. Susie stared at Julie in disbelief, and as Frank grabbed her trembling hands and inserted the knife into the man's throat. Frank told them to move fast. They mopped the blood off the floor, stashed the body in the trunk of Joey's car, and drove up Mount Ormond. All four were digging in muddy snow to dispose of the body when Frank spotted something moving through the woods. He grabbed his knife and broke from the group to check it out. The fog thickened around Frank, becoming so dense that he soon could no longer see ahead. He retraced his steps and stumbled onto an ominous trail. He followed the eerie path as if called by the darkness. Julie, Susie, and Joey had finished digging, but Frank was nowhere near to be seen. Julie spotted his muddy footsteps in the trail, which took them deeper into the woods. When Julie, Susie, and Joey did not return home that night, their parents thought they'd run away with Frank. Each family came up with a different theory. The mood of the town changed. However, when a body was found by an abandoned lodge up Mount Ormond. Alright, so let's look at this. Feral slash. Hitting it. They bleed out. Yeah, I know. It's okay. So that's cool. They have their own little backstories. I don't know how I activated that. Oh, character info right there. Alright. Did I have fun? Yeah, it was fun. Okay. What rank did I get? We got rank 3. Leveled up. No, I didn't. Interesting. Well, goodbye.